Hey.
Yeah.
Hey. Look at this.
I'm looking.
Do you see this?
I see it.
This article?
No.
It's not about the shirt. Let's see. The best $6,250 I ever spent. Top surgery. I didn't know it was the best money I'd ever spent until I'd spent it. By Daniel Ortberg. Let's just understand something, though. That this top surgery... You know what? No. We'll go. We'll just read and we'll figure it out along the way. This is a mystical journey. Alright. There's something truly wonderful about referring to a procedure as specific as a bilateral mastectomy, with a term as blandly ominous as top surgery. Is it serious, Doc? Yes, son. I'm afraid there's nothing to do but schedule you for top surgery. What parts of me will be affected, Doc? The top. What are you going to do to the top of me? Surgery. We're going in and we're going to have to surgery your top. This person has no illness. Perhaps this person has some very serious illnesses, but none of them relating to their top. Unfortunately. So, let's see where they're going to go with this. Alright? They're comparing themselves to, I'm assuming it's supposed to be some sort of reference to breast cancer patients there. What do you think? Is it serious, Doc? There's nothing to do but schedule you for surgery? Go ahead.
I don't think a doctor is going to talk to you like that. I know it's an exaggeration.
Yeah, it's a hypothetical. But...
Yeah, but it wasn't well done. It's not funny.
Oh, sorry. It's not funny.
It's not clever. It's not creative.
That's your first clue. This article was written by a woman, but okay.
A feminist.
A woman.
No. Women can be creative. I'm creative.
I didn't say women cannot be creative. And I did not say women cannot be funny. But what I'm saying is that this woman is not funny. And this is a woman. Let's continue.
Yeah, there aren't really many funny women.
Just get rid of the whole thing, doctor. I imagine myself saying generously, swinging my legs from the examination table. Take the whole top off. I want my neighbors to have a clear view to the sea. Give it away to the deserving poor who may have no top to speak of. I'll get by just fine with a bottom and a middle. No top for me, I'll get by. First off, what the fuck are you talking about?
Why are we referring to it as top?
I know I need to keep...
Is that what the shirt is about? Is that...
Yeah, that's where the shirt comes into play here. I guess this person...
They just want to get rid of the shirt.
They don't have the mental facilities to refer to something as what it is, so they gotta reduce it to a shirt. Which has nothing to do with it.
Are you avoiding using the word boobs or breasts or...
I guess they're just afraid.
Female parts? I don't know.
Forbid female part words. It's not okay. But seriously, what is any of this even saying? Take the whole top off. I want my neighbors to have a clear view to the sea. But what?
I think it's an aim at a joke, but...
I think we're spending too much time on this.
Yeah.
Alright. If you're in the market for top surgery, odds are good that you've spent a fair amount of time and money and fabric fussing about what Liz Lemon once referred to as the top front quadrant. Recently, I took a guess at how much I spent on bras and later binders every year, probably somewhere between $100 and $150, depending on how fancy or flush I felt, and allowing for the occasional outlier, and figure that garment-wise top surgery would have paid for itself in about 42 years. All told, $6,000 out of my pocket. My insurance at the time didn't cover the procedure, or indeed much of anything. Slaps top of roof.
Oh boy.
Okay, your personal decisions should not be covered by insurance, first of all.
Right, and also, what kind of bras are you buying to add up to more than $6,000? I find most of my bras are like $12 from Ross, and the most I've spent was at a woman's store specifically, and it was $50. So if you're buying exclusively extravagant bras, then maybe you'll get to that point, but this shouldn't be a point on saving money.
Right. Last year, I publicly admitted to having a body for the first time. An act so embarrassing, I'm still not fully recovered. Okay. I feel like you're probably phrasing that really poorly.
I publicly admitted to having a body.
Let's see what they mean by this. Product review. When every bra size is wrong. Roughly 1/3 of waking hours since the age of 11 have been spent nodding in vague affirmation at the reminder. Oh, it's the same person, of course. You know, you're probably wearing the wrong bra size. This is a general piece of advice women like to give one another every couple of hours, just in case it's been a few hours since someone said, "Oh yeah, have you figured out that the writer of the article is a woman yet?" Okay, let's continue. Just in case it's been a few hours since someone said, most women in America are wearing the wrong bra size. This is never followed by further instructions or more specific advice. It is simply a warning and a watchword and a sign by which we might know one another. Have you considered that you might be wearing the wrong bra size? Sister, I consider it. It as well.
I hope men don't read this article and think that this is how women talk to each other. If we are actively complaining about our bras being annoying, then yes, someone's going to say, you might have the wrong bra size. But this isn't something women talk about.
Okay, like,
what does that have to do with...
Why was that linked there? The dominant story of my life as a woman had been, I've never given a moment's thought to my body. Although I'm sure it's quite nice. Never been there myself, but I hear it's lovely this time of year. Well, is that why you did that? The idea of carrying 6,250 worth about the shape of my chest alone, not to mention the rest of it, seemed designed to elicit uncomfortable follow-up questions. Like, why did you do that? What was your thinking behind that? Why did you spend $6,000 to chop a part of your own body off? That would be the uncomfortable follow-up question, and it's uncomfortable because you got no answer. Your only answers are blah, blah, blah. I want to feel special.
I want to be a man.
I want to be a man. While simultaneously telling all men how evil they are. Okay, let's continue. Alright, uncomfortable follow-up questions. But the work of adopting a pose of nonchalance eventually felt more exhausting than anything else.
Is she complaining about the comments after she got her top removed?
I guess.
Her writing style's not really the greatest. Sorry, his writing style.
I mean, you're allowed to have your own opinions.
I don't want to be attacked by the feminists.
I had a particular cycle of fears that kept popping into my head. Other people wanted or needed to transition because they were legitimately trans in a way that I was not. What legitimately trans meant or why it couldn't apply to me, I couldn't have told you because you're just as clueless about any of this as everyone else while you simultaneously, really? Yeah. Simultaneously try to shit on everyone that isn't as educated as you. Okay.
Seems like y'all are destructing yourselves. These legitimately trans. That none of it's legitimate.
Yeah, I don't know. This is what? What? I, on the other hand, simply couldn't stop thinking about transitioning, which was not the same thing. Merely thinking about transitioning was somehow distinct from wanting to transition. As long as I was the one doing the thinking, which meant that I was not trans, which meant that I ought not to transition, which meant that I had no choice but to continue thinking about transition. What the fuck are you on about? Right. What are you babbling about? I cannot. I have completely lost any and all understanding of even the words that you were trying to string together. What thought are you trying to express?
If only I were trans, then I could transition. What?
You can see how this could get old after a while, like a Stephen Sondheim song. Yeah. No shit.
I don't know who that is.
In the season 7 episode of The Simpsons, Marge Be Not Proud, Bart wants the video game Bone Storm more than anything else in the world, but despairs of ever coming up with the amount of money it costs to get it. The ad instructs kids to tell their parents, buy me Bone Storm or go to hell, which doesn't work on his mother. Games like that cost up to and including $70.
What is...
Hold on, maybe they're going to make a point here in a second. Let's... More of a...
shitty writing style. It's like...
It's for children.
It literally... They teach you not to write like this. In any college, any university, any high school, they teach you better than this. Why are you writing this way?
Why do you have a job
as a writer?
Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm more of a Martin Prince kind of guy, but I've never felt more like Bart than I did in the months between scheduling a consultation for top surgery and figuring out how I was going to pay for it. Let's keep in mind, the whole top surgery thing was literally just because this person didn't feel like saying any of the actual words. And it's the whole picture of the article. I mean, this is... I feel like I'm falling down into a rabbit hole that I'm never going to be able to escape.
Yeah, I don't like the direction our fellow millennials are going in.
Right. It's bad.
I don't want to say that it's all of them, but it's certainly a loud amount of it.
A loud amount?
Yeah.
I don't think...
No, like, the portion that is there, they're just loud, so we can't actually tell how many of them there are.
Fair enough.
Alright, let's keep going.
Alright. Bart wants Bone Storm so badly that he publicly embarrasses himself, decides he no longer belongs in his own family, and winds up thumping his head against the kitchen table of his best friend's mom, a woman who's never really liked him but right now holds his only hope of salvation. Tell me I'm good, he mumbles into the table.
Is it appropriate to compare yourself, like, what kind of argument are you making when you're comparing yourself to a young boy on a cartoon that thinks his life is ending because he can't buy a video game? Are you comparing yourself to a whiny little boy who can't get a video game he wants?
I think they... I think they are.
I mean, it's not good for your argument, for your argument. But I mean, go, by all means, continue making yourself look bad.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. Anyways, I don't think she ever does. It's been a while since I saw that episode, and I'm sensitive enough about all the ways re-entering puberty in my 30s makes me feel adolescent that I'm not precisely eager to rewatch a TV show from my childhood in order to empathize with a 10-year-old boy. It's about wanting something so badly you feel exposed and humiliated at every turn, and worrying about disappointing your family in general and your mother in particular, which carries a certain sort of transmasculine resonance.
Your transmasculine resonance may vary. Transmasculine resonance not get... What the fuck is transmasculine resonance?
I'm not looking it up. What? Oh my god. Look, you're comparing... You're literally comparing your fantasy about becoming trans, even though you yourself admitted that you are not trans. Your fantasy about becoming trans, you're comparing that to a 10-year-old boy who's throwing a fit because he can't get the video game he wants. You're only making yourself look bad here.
Is there something we're missing? Like, is there something we're not connecting to in this article, or is it just like this the whole time?
I think she's trying to say that I actually really don't know. I tried. I had friends who thought their surgery was going to be covered by their insurance company right up until the day itself, and friends whose claims were denied after the fact. I knew people whose fundraisers never made a big enough splash to even cover the cost of their pre- and post-op prescription. Someone whose surgeon said at the last minute, just as they were going under, I know we talked about Technique X, but I'm going to go with Technique Y because I'm more comfortable with it. Pleasant dreams. People who have had to schedule revisions because they had been forced to choose a surgeon they could afford rather than a surgeon who had experience with top surgery. You don't always know what it costs until you spend the money. You're literally complaining about insurance companies not covering your personal decisions.
Yeah, that's a cosmetic choice. My insurance isn't going to cover Botox or plastic surgery.
Right. There's a different argument if we're going to talk about something like breast cancer. Sure, your insurance should cover an operation for breast cancer. But because you want your tits to be chopped off. Not because you need them to be. Because you want them to be, and you're expecting that to be covered by your insurance company? It's not how any of these things work.
Right.
And people complaining that they had to choose a surgeon they could actually afford rather than getting the best surgeon in the nation for free. Well, I'm sorry, but you live in a capitalist society. And no, a communist society would not be better. They would just all be shitty surgeons.
Yeah. No one would ever want to get better.
I paid for mine with a cashier's check. It was the most money I'd ever spent in a single day. If living without top surgery for 31 years had a monetary value, I'd assign it something south of $6,000. One might worry a bit that it's short-sighted to write about one's transition for the general public. That it invites unwanted scrutiny. Well, I don't care if you want it. Unhelpful comment. I don't care if you find them helpful or not. Hi, I'm some guy you don't know, and I think you shouldn't have gotten top surgery. Well, I am some guy you don't know, and I do think you shouldn't have gotten top surgery. Not because I don't think that you should be allowed to. I don't think you're mature enough or responsible enough to handle something like that.
If you're gonna sit here and compare yourself to Bart Simpson and complain about the expense itself, then...
And you even admit yourself, right here, that instead of listening to any concerns or criticism, you feel the need to double down on your decision. To not even double down. You go so far as to say it's the greatest thing that ever happened to anyone in the history of top parts. And it's actually heroic of me to post shirtless pictures on Instagram. You say you have no interest in trying to sell anyone on it. Why did you write an entire article about it if you're not trying to push it, if you're not trying to spread it? This article is just bragging? If you're not trying to push an agenda, let's just assume you're not trying to push or show your support for any kind of agenda. This is just a grab for attention. You're just writing an article because you want attention. I mean...
I feel like that's all we see anymore. It's just everyone talking. Like, if you open up Snapchat and go to the articles, everything's just about trans people transitioning, gay people coming out. How do you feel about white privilege? It's just, this is getting ridiculous. Let's continue.
At least part of what I was paying for was relief from the recurrent thought that any minute, maybe now, I was going to look down and see the chest ideal snugly installed between the rib cage and the collarbone without a seam or a stitch in sight through either surgical breakthrough or divine intervention. As soon as one gets, achieves, undergoes, receives top surgery, this future becomes impossible. This is not an achievement. I need to make this very clear. This is not an achievement.
I mean, it's an achievement to save that much money, but it's not an achievement to spend it on cosmetic surgery. I don't think anyone should be spending that much on it.
Oh, and they went ahead and did it again. Or, it's made more obvious how impossible that future always was. As soon as I got, achieved, underwent, received top surgery, I was released from the hope that I was mere seconds away from the perfect top surgery, scarless and painless and replete with instant running hot and cold sensation. And there was a great deal of freedom and relief in that. I was more connected to the imperfections of the body than I had been before, and was better for it.
if you feel like you're more comfortable in your body, I mean, I guess go for it, but it's a big decision that I personally wouldn't. I don't know. I guess I can't relate to these people.
And why do you need a connection with the imperfections of the body? Right. So much of this is just obsessing over things that no one else would think to care about.
Right, this is all for you. This is all narcissism.
I was more connected to the imperfections of the body. No one cares. No one else either sits there and just stares at their body all day and says, "Whoa, man, I'm really connected with my imperfections." This is just... It's
the result of the Instagram generation.
It's a toxic cocktail of narcissism, attention whoring, and just straight up selfishness.
Like, this isn't something that needs to be written about.
I mean, if you want to write about it, fine, but why are you doing this for your company? This should be personal blog at worst.
Was this the first article that came up when you opened up Fox?
No, it was like 4 articles down.
Okay. 4.
Right.
It's still within, like, this is
on
one of
the
the first
page.
things you see coming into this website. I don't... it's made for...
Oh boy, we're back.
Reviews.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
We're back to the Simpsons analogy again. Oh boy. After Bart has failed to convince his best friend Milhouse to let him play Bone Storm with him, Milhouse reveals that he's grown weary of the game and now only cares about a little cup with a ball attached to it by a string. "I'm really into this cup and ball now. Whoa, wow," laughs delightedly. "Man, you never know which way this crazy ball is going to go." Let's see what point they have with this.
I can't imagine. I can't pull anything from it.
Let's go. Let's dive in. Transition isn't a consumer good you purchase, but if you want top surgery, someone still has to pay the surgeon. Yes. And if it's going to be your insurance company, it's also going to be not only you, but every other person who is a customer of that insurance agency, and taxpayers as well. Top surgery was a working theory about my chest until it was a reality. Before, we knew in part and prophesied in part. But when that which is perfect is come, then that which is in part shall be done away. When I woke up in the recovery room, all I could think was, of course, oh thank goodness, oh of course, of course, of course, of course. But I didn't know it was the best money I'd ever spent until I'd spent it. This person believes that this was a better use of their money than, say, a charitable donation. I think I'm going to end with that. Anything to say? You give up?
I can't.
You can't?
What?
Yeah, well, neither can I.
What brought these people to be this way?
I don't know.
She can't. Alright, that's all. That's how we're ending this. Alright.
Yeah, I'm done.
Alright.